عليه الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome you, all of you, wherever you are. And welcome you again with this lecture of the explanation of Surah Al-Mu'minun. This surah is in Mecca, descended in Mecca on the Prophet ﷺ. It is the 23rd in the Mus'haf. Number of its ayah 118. It was named that way because it started talking about the believers and their characters. So it has some of the believers and talked about some of their characters and why they inherited the paradise at the day of judgment. So it talked about the believers. Then we talked about the bounty of Allah Azza wa Jal. And then it talked about Allah's bounty and ability in creation of the seven heavens. And He did not leave any of His creations. And they talked about some of the stories of the prophets. And then concluded at the end of the characters of the Day of Judgment and how humiliated the disbelievers are in this life, and did not take that chance. And then it ends with purifying and glorifying Allah the Almighty and free Him from any delay, any flaws, any deficiencies. Praises all to Allah, the All High. No hadith that indicate about the speciality of that surah is definitely within the Quran. That's in the saying of Abdullah al-Mas'ud, that he is saying for the hadith of Rasulullah, whoever read one letter of the word of Allah, the book of Allah, Allah give him one deed, and each deed multiplied by 10. I don't say alif lam mim one letter, it is alif one harf and lam one letter and mim one letter. Start with saying, indeed, successful are the believers. These are indications from Allah mentioning there His believers, His beloved believers, and the reasons why they reach that winning and that happiness. Which is an indication for us to hold tight to these characters. You always need to measure yourself and others with these ayahs, so you'll see what you have and what others have of faith. Add and Allah mentioned these characters only in one place and separated in His book, just like the believers in His recitation to this book of Allah. You will find characters of the miserable, the hypocrites, the disobedience, and they have the same punishment. Allah always mentioned the believers and then the disbelievers, and vice versa. Allah wants us to always have that faith in Allah and be scared of the hereafter. We learn the faith before we learn the Quran, and then we learn the Quran, so we increase in our faith. This is in the Sahih Sunan of Dawud. Ibn Umar summarized this by saying, we lived part of our life and we get the faith before the Quran. The surah with the Sunnah Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So he learned the halal, the permissible, forbidden, and what you need to stop at and what you need to do. Just like you know the Quran. He said, I've seen some people. And he recites between fast and he doesn't know what happened or what's going to start him. Where are the red lines that you not cross? In the hadith of Abdullah Mas'ud, do not throw the Quran like the dates that is already bad. So the person is forbidden to recite it like the dahr. You need to look at the faith indications that you see and let his heart be enjoyed like the recitation. Allah said he have sent the best of speech, double that the people who loves their hearts and their they lean to Allah, the mercy of Allah. Allah guides to His guidance whomever He wish. Indeed, the believers have won, and they have reached everything the believers want. Those who believed in Allah and fulfilled their believers were always concentrating in their prayers, which means the presence of the heart in the hands of Allah Azza wa Jal, to have Allah Azza wa Jal close to your house. You don't turn around. Your whole body is calm, is concentrating with Allah. Any prayer that has no concentration, you get nothing except what you had understood from it. Ammar Nasir says, I heard the Prophet ﷺ saying that the man, he will leave and he have nothing. It was written to him is 1/10 of the prayers. You have nothing from the prayer except what you have concentrated on it. Al-Hasan al-Basri used to say about the Prophet ﷺ that his concentration with his eyes. Muhammad bin Sirin says that the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, they used to raise their eyes to the heavens, and when this ayah came in, and the successful other believers who are concentrating in their prayers, they lowered their sight to the places where they prostrate, and their prayer never. You're not supposed to close your eyes in the prayers, but if you are afraid that your heart will be separated and the Prophet ﷺ forbid to look up in the prayers, that your eyesight will be captured, it will be caught, you will lose that eyesight. He alayhi salatu wasalam said how some people are raising their eyes to the heavens in their prayers, and then he kept talking about it until he says either they will quit or their sight will be taken. the outside the masjid, القاضي عياض used to say, so they are in their prayers, they are concentrating. Their hearts are humble to the Creator. And the khushu' only in the heart. You can see it on the limbs, glorifying Allah Azza wa Jal and fulfilling His promises and orders, and fearful of His punishment. And the khushu' means lowered. It's when Allah said that when all the voices they stopped with Ar-Rahman being and from his signs that you see the earth concentration. So if we send the water, it will shake and it will be full. If the one who created can create the dead. Be careful that the khushu' of the and that's not is accepted. Hudayfa used to say, stay away from the hypocrites' khushu'. They said, what is that? He said, you see the person concentrating, but his heart is not like that. Someone, he lowered his head on the prayers too much. He told him, raise your head in the prayers. The khushu' is not in the neck, it is in the hearts. Our mother Aisha saw some youth in the way they walk. She said, who are they? They said, people are making nusuk. She said, Umar Khattab, if he walk, he's rush. And if he talk, he made everybody hear. And if he hit, he is the one who hurts our. The first thing they will lose is khushu', the last thing is the salah will be taken from them. But those who free themselves for the prayers and prefer it over others, then it will be joy for him. The Prophet ﷺ said that his fulfillment was in the and he said, Bilal, get up and go to the prayers. And it was narrated that if he started the prayers, Allah will say, take the veil out. And if they look around, he will say that if the shaitan comes in and he give him from this life, and Allah is a complete. The other character that they are away from the shirk, the part with Allah. They stay away from any false talk, so they will not be sinned. And if they pass by the extra talk, they will be honored. They don't say nothing. Don't. Ibn Jarir Tabri said the extra in the Arab is any action. It has actually no place. Some of it is so if the person curse someone else in the bad, it's the disbelievers idolizing their idols. That's from the things that is forbidden. But if they sick, they don't hear it. If somebody heard them, they will forgive and forget. It could be the passing by In some areas that they fight with the sword. That if they see people who are cutting the road on others, who ask for their help, if the person holds his tongue and nothing can distract him. Do I tell you, on top of all of this, they said, yes, O Prophet of Allah. So he took his tongue and he said, stop that. Meaning control your tongue, control what comes out of it. He said, whoever believes in Allah or the hereafter, let him say good or be quiet. Imagine every word, it will be either punishment or reward. Abundance of Allah give you one tongue and 2 ears. So what you hear is better than what you say. Someone might say something, he'll pay attention to it. So said one of the poets, he talked about leaving his girlfriend. The Prophet ﷺ was asked, the worst thing that will enter people hellfire, he said, your mouth and the private part. This is what salvation. He said, hold your tongue and let be enough your house and cry over your sin. When he said, do you want to tell you the best thing about it? He said, yes. He said, when Mu'adh asked the Prophet about this tongue, he said, is there anything that throws people in the hellfire worse than their tongue and what comes out of it? And then Allah discussed the character of the zakah. They are doing it. They pay the zakah, but this is in Mecca, and zakah came in detailed in Medina. It was obligated in Mecca and Mecca, but the details is in Medina. So the sake for Allah never stop a minute. But people want to establish the state in Medina, so the detail of the zakah was given. And the minimum that and the expenses of the zakah, all those details, that is for also could be mean the zakah of the, because he has succeeded those who have purified it, and indeed Allah sent a messenger among them who will send them your book and teach them the wisdom. You are the mighty and the wise, or could be, or both of them, the zakah. The one who is successful is the one that Allah makes successful for him. These are the ones who did good in the worshiping the Creator. And for those who are protecting their own or anything that leads to adultery, Allah said, do not come to adultery, it is a great sin. Or all that can bring doubt is forbidden. Recitation of the Quran. Allah said, and do not hit with the legs so they will show what they really incarnate. Allah said, don't soften your talk, and then the bad people will come in and say. So whoever was beyond that, those are the transgressors who did more than what Allah allowed. They dared the Prophet said, I allowed you to have enjoyment with women, and Allah forbid that until the day of judgment. So whomever had something, let him take it back, and don't take from what you have given anything. So it's forbidden with the forbidden of the Prophet ﷺ to the end of judgment. And Allah has forbidden that on until the day of judgment. Also that the with the loaned mule. The woman, when she is divorced 3 times, she cannot go back to her husband until she marries someone else. It should be with enjoyment, not for him to enjoy it. And then Allah said, and those who are fulfilling their promises and they are keeping all their obligations, they are excellent in showing that Allah's right is very clear. As Allah said, we have given the trust on the heavens and earth and the mountains. And the human had taken it, he is so everything Allah obligated on his servants is a trust. And this includes the trust from people, like the money and shares and so on. Allah is ordering you to give the amana to his people. Also the ahd. So the word trust, every right that you are supposed to give it or reserve it. To be afif, every thing that Allah has obligated is a trust, like the prayers, zakah, and everything. Of course, the trust director is and the one who holds the people's secrets. And if you rule by people, rule by justice. And Allah saying, they refuse to hold it and they hide away from it. This trust that Allah has put in, it is to do the obligation and stay away from the things that are forbidden. And you have that choice to choose for that. And the heavens and earth, they came in fearful of Allah Azza wa Jal. They were afraid if they don't do what they did, not because of. So you could distinguish between Allah saying, the Iblis, he was challenging Allah Azza wa Jal and taking it against Allah. But the heavens and earth, they take it fearful that if they don't do what their job is, and of course, no doubt that the opposite of that, the ayah of The hypocrites are three. If he talked, he lied. If he promised, he will break. And if he is asked for a favor, he will leave. Someone asked the Prophet ﷺ, when is the hour? Then he asked him more time, and he did the same. This, he told him, if the trust is done, then wait for the hour. And how you do that if the matter is too different? So whomever preserved his prayers and he did it in that fashion, he's the one who deserves with the character in this ayat and the promise that came at the end, with Allah saying, those are the inheritance. Who have those character are the one who got the inheritance, enters the Firdaus, which is the highest in Jannah and the best inside of it, because they have the best on both worlds. Those who believe and they did good deeds, the heavens of Firdaus is their place of stay. There are levels with Allah, and Allah is all where Allah said that they are in it eternally, as long as the heavens and earth. They will not stay away from it. But what are the inheritance? They inherit the places of the hellfire and Jannah. The Sheikh said that every person is in Jannah. You have one place in heaven, one in hellfire. If he gets his status, as Abu Hurairah said, they get their places, and their brothers that is done to them. For those who are in the hellfire, they inherit the of the hellfire. There is a place in heavens and one in hellfire. The hadith of Abu Hurairah, none of you, and he will have two houses or places settled, one in heaven and one in heaven. If he died, enter the hellfire, then the people of paradise, they will inherit his place in Jannah. That's what Allah said, these are the one who inherit. He said the land in Jannah that belongs to the people of the disbelievers. Indeed, the good place is the one that everybody. The heaven has so many things, so beautiful, nothing an eye seen or heard or anything else. It is a reward for what they did.